this is my piece. I had a couple to choose from, but the bark is already pulling away, so I'm hoping it's going to be easy to debark and then give this a good sand and see what we can do with it. So essentially, to get the bark off, I'm using this chisel and a hammer. You could use a mallet, and I just tap it in and put pressure to get the bark off. This is the piece I've already done, and I use the edge of the chisel to kind of take off any remaining pieces. But then I'm going to be going on to sanding, my favorite part. Okay, probably should have mentioned this puppy had been drying out in my porch for a couple years, so it's nice and dry, and that's why the bark peeled away so easily. I'm going to start with this sander. It's using 100 grit, which, as you know, the lower the number, the stronger the grit. I'm going to start at the top, do a bit of the sides. My mask. Maybe I should do a before and after. It's pretty rough, so it's gonna take me a little while. I want it pretty smooth, and the edges as well. It's rough. Quick update before it starts to rain. It's already you know, softer than what it was, of course. It's not the goal to make it perfect because it's just a side table. I think I am gonna get a syringe and put some wood glue in here. Or not. I'm still thinking about that. This is how the edge used to look. This is after a pretty quick sanding, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I actually love these little imperfections. It really adds to it. I did cut this off, however, because, well, I wasn't going to be able to sand that down anyway. Anyway, I just cut that off with the saw. Finding glue is like the bane of my existence. Every year I have to throw out the glue that I forgot in the garage because it froze. I'm only buying bottles like yay big from now on. Swear to God. Like, what's the point? I just ordered one from Amazon. Now, this isn't wood glue, although it says you can use it for wood. I want us to be aware that anywhere I put this, obviously, glue does not take to stain. And I am planning to stain this darker. So I actually think it might look cool with the glue in these places, and then I'll sand it after. And where I stain it, hopefully, you know, that part will look, again, this is just for fun. So dumb. Okay, this is not what I had in mind when I was going to use this syringe. Oh boy. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Well, it's still working. Yeah, so essentially I'm going to fill all these cracks with glue. So here's how it looks with the glue. I mean, some are deeper than others, so I'm just watching some of it dry, which sounds boring, but it's fine. And I put tape on the side of the one because there was a long fissure and it just kept draining down the side. So maybe I'll come back out once more tonight in like an hour just to see if anything's gone lower than the level, and then I'll add a bit more. But tomorrow I'll come check it in the morning when it's dry and give it a good sanding. Okay, so I just got up and I came out, and it looks pretty good actually, except for, as expected, some of the deeper crevices I'm just gonna fill in and let dry again. So I spent some time sanding it after the glue, and now it looks a lot better. I know everyone's into resin, but this glue thing, well, I'm gonna sneeze at. Oh my God, that's from the sawdust or dust. Yeah. Anyway, I actually really like it, and I'm excited to put the darker stain on it so that these parts kind of don't get the stain and maybe will look really cool in the end. Not gonna overly sand it. I'm just gonna sand it so that it gets ready to be stained, and then we'll show you the results. Hi folks. Lots of time has passed, lots of sanding, lots of me being distracted by other projects, but we might actually be at the point where we can actually put the stain on, if I can get the jar open. I should have put on different, I have my bracelet on, I don't want to get poo all over it. Okay, I'm going to use this little stir stick here, give her a little whirl. It's dark, but that's what we're going for this time. All right, I only have this tiny brush. Could take a while, but it's not a race. Generally, I don't like doing this kind of thing outside because little specks of poo can fly into it, but honestly, given this project, it's not gonna matter much. Okay, this one is a stain and a sealer, so I just wanna see. Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna have to dab a bit because there's so many little marks in this wood that there's a lot of tiny holes. I'll show you that after, but yeah, I'm just gonna give it a good coat and we'll see how it goes. Ooh, didn't need to make that much of a mess. Okay, I'm gonna need to put a hat on because I'm gonna burn my scalp if not. I'm not minding this. It's for my living room, it has to be dark, so I think it's gonna be good. I'll give you a close-up here to show you what I mean with these little crevices. Yeah, if we see here all these little, really gonna have to bounce it in there. I'm actually glad I'm doing this outside because the smell is, woof. It's giving a 1980s black marker. Wow, okay. Can't wait to see the top. Patience. Tried to be patient. Not one of my characteristics, so went ahead and did it, even though the sides aren't done. What does it matter? I'm really loving it though. I like how the glue worked out. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the story about how I got glue all over the garage, doing glue on a really big fissure that should never have been done with glue, but anyway, that's for a story for another time. But yeah, this is kind of a cool look. I'm also really vibing on the sides now. I mean, yes, it's rustic, but I'm liking it. Thoughts? I'm quite happy with it overall. And we'll see what it looks like in its new space. So I've also decided to do this as a footstool. The glue did not work out on this one, long story short, but I'm going to sand it down nonetheless, starting with 40 grit so I can take off this glue that I really should never have messed with. You can see the final result later. Okay, this side project is turning into a pretty main project, but look how beautiful the wood is. I love this red color. Oh my gosh, I was questioning whether I should take it off because this gray was quite nice, but no, it was so beautiful. And this is the top. It's getting there. I mean, I had to go a lot to get off the glue. That was overall just a big mistake. But anyway, moving on. Now, after a lot of sanding, this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna start staining it, which is my favorite part. Ooh. Yep. Honestly, I'm just trying to match this to the living room stuff that's already there. If not, I would definitely do a natural finish. And it's still rough, and that's okay. That's okay. But just giving it a good once over, and then that'll be that. Loving the way it looks with this beautiful dark color on it. Rich, rich, rich. Obviously, I put a piece of wood underneath, thank God. Nice. Nice, beautiful color. All done. I will show you it in the house, but I learned my lesson from bringing the last one in. This one's gonna sit out overnight to dry off because the smell is so strong. Like I said, anyway, it takes a while for it to dissipate. So we're gonna leave it out here. I hope it'll be fine, obviously. So cute. I'll get that garbage bin out of there. To finish the video, I just wanted to show you my cozy new little area. Love it.